You're such a jerk. Oh my gosh. He had me talk for a long time before he tells me I haven't hit record yet.
I did not have you
That was
do
my
anything.
good intro. I have no good intros.
I just talked to you and was talking to you, and
played
then
the
you
music.
start talking as if we're on the podcast.
It's because you cued this elevator tune.
I did not do that. That was not cued. It was literally just coming off of our last take.
He was playing this music while I was telling them that my brother-in-law is in the hospital. This is bad. Okay.
I just realized the music was playing that entire time.
On that note, we have our first, welcome.
What
to
the heck kind of
Somehow
transition is that?
We are the worst. We're the worst. Oh my God. So I'm Noelle. I'm not introducing you.
The ship has left the dock. Like, do you want to turn around and start, or do we just keep going?
Let's just keep going. It's getting late.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just getting worse the more we go on.
The later the
my
evening
name is
gets,
David.
The later the the later the evening gets, the more giggly we get. Okay. So we have our first podcast episode sponsor. So
you had a tone when you said that. We have, and I being in tune with the way that the females read tones can anticipate how you would have taken it if I said that with that tone.
So I'm going to read this thing from our friends over at Small Things Great Love. So Small Things Great Love creates rosaries and other items to celebrate the beauty of the Catholic faith and live liturgically. From liturgical garlands, which we have a purple one for our Advent tree, to wall rosaries, simple jewelry to stickers, they seek to be a place where beauty and devotion meet and stir the heart. So we actually have one of the wall rosaries from Small Things Great Love right here. It hangs in our living room usually. And then we hang this in our car. You put essential oils on it. It makes your car smell good, even if you have 6 kids and 2 dogs. And your van is a complete trash dump.
A Ford Transit. Yes.
So get one of these, put some oil, smell good in your car, even when you open the door and trash falls out. So they are having their biggest sale of the year going on right now through November 28th with lots of freebies, lots of markdowns, no code needed. So head on over to www.smallthingsgreatlove.com. Great is spelled with the number 8, great. And shop now. And if you forget the website, you can check our show notes for all the details.
Can you say the name of that company again?
David.
No, you're supposed to go Small Things Great Love. Go ahead, do it.
Small Things Great Love.
I don't like that. I don't like it. Gosh, I hope you have a dream about that.
Oh,
and the whole time in that dream, I'm
too.
talking to you about. Okay. Oh my gosh.
What am I
that
wearing?
That will be the only thing you will do. Dream in your dreams. Oh my gosh.
I want you to whisper in my ear.
Oh my gosh.
Small Things Great Love.
I just did. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why do all of our podcasts turn this inappropriate corner? Let's move along. No. Let's move along.
I just roasted myself.
Is that our topic? Is that the topic that we're doing tonight? Oh, dear Lord Jesus, have mercy on David.
Oh my God.
Okay, keep going. Okay. Anyway, okay.
I don't know how you recover from that, but what is our topic?
The name of the Father and no, I'm just kidding.
No,
well, I mean,
you're kidding about prayer is a joke to you? Okay, interesting.
Okay,
sorry, folks.
What is our topic? Go ahead, introduce our topic. Introduce our topic. What is the matter with you?
Our topic is find a wife who will roast you.
Find a wife who will roast you.
Yes.
I guess you're a lucky man.
Why is that?
Well, I think you and I equally roast you.
That's two. I mean, yeah, that's two for me tonight, that I roasted myself and you roasted me already, I think, during the show. Yeah.
Well, I cannot roast a slab of beef. I can roast my husband.
That I don't know if that is that's not a roast even of yourself. That is a very astute observation.
Yeah. Well, I just remember the very first time that you came to visit my family, and my dad said, "Oh, so you have a theology degree? What are you going to do with that? How are you going to support a family?" And you were like, "Yeah, I'm going to work at McDonald's." Like, you didn't skip a beat the very first time and people used to find my dad intimidating because he's Mexican. He's very sarcastic. He doesn't smile a lot. He's more serious in his joking.
Right.
And when he's being sarcastic, and some boys were scared of my dad. So when you were just like quick-witted right back, we knew you were a possible, match for me.
A prospective husband.
Yes, despite your lack of dowry.
And hair.
It's true.
But you like that about me, my lack of dowry. Mainly my dowry is on my arms.
I always felt called to be poor.
Fluffy dowry.
Okay.
I had my dowry cut yesterday. No, I'm bald. So,
yeah.
But enough about the dowry. I want us to first define for people what is a roast. What is a roast and what is a good roast? What makes a good roast? And we're not talking about the crock pot. So, what is a roast?
I mean, when I've seen roasts on like the Comedy Channel or something like that, they're pretty mean. I wouldn't say we're mean, but we bump up against that line sometimes, but it's
How do you know that you bumped up against that line?
When somebody starts to cry.
I've never let you see that. I usually leave the room and thought I was alone.
You leave the room and thought you were alone.
What? That's what
You leave the room alone? You leave and you are alone in the room.
I don't know how I can be more specific with my situation. I left the room and I thought I was alone, but apparently you're still there somehow, seeing me curl into the fetal position and cry because you roasted me too hard. No,
Yeah.
So
no, I
how
have
do you
had
know?
boyfriends that have done that though, like where we've had very awkward drives home or not home, but like just from my home out to eat or whatever.
No one suspected that you were living with your boyfriend. You don't have to you don't have to clarify. Like, oh my gosh, this is a Catholic audience.
That was a very long and awkward description with our chaperone in the back seat.
Good save.
Yeah, there we go. And so, but it was like where after spending time with my family, they would be like, your family's really mean, and they would really have hurt feelings. And but it's true. Like my Garcia side of the family, we are just very sarcastic.
Mean.
Yeah, we bump up against that line, but it's not to be mean. It's just to be funny. Like we go really in hard for that joke, and but I can see how somebody might think it's mean or poorly intended, but it's not. And I think with us, when we roast each other or we tease each other, we're very secure in our love for each other. So it's not like it doesn't feel mean unless we're having a fight, and then we're probably mean.
Yeah, which we
like
were
all
this
day today.
morning. Yeah,
Oh my
which
gosh.
was did you start that or it was kind of both of us?
You definitely started it. I simply woke up, said, "Good morning, sunshine," and you were like, "Shut up."
Oh my gosh. What kind of memory? How distorted.
But you were just cranky. I'm like, "David, okay, we have to do this and this and this and this today." And I was excited.
That's a stark difference from "Good morning, sunshine. Let me whisper
But
in
did you
your
hear
ear.
the sunshine in
small
my
things,
voice?
Great love.
Oh no.
Small things, great love.
David. My gosh. I hope Allison better make a lot of rosary sales after this episode, David.
She will.
But yeah, so we pretty much have been fighting the entire day over tone of voice.
Yeah.
And body language, because I just didn't understand why you weren't as excited about the day as I was.
Yeah, you misinterpreted my tone, and it's not my fault.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I misinterpreted. Actually, I actually am very secure in my ability to interpret tone. Being a female,
I'm not.
scientifically proven, women can interpret tone better than men. So
I do not disagree with that scientific finding, but let's also look at the scientific finding that men are stronger than women. Boom, roasted.
yeah, it's kind of okay. It's actually kind of not fair that you're stronger than me because I'm the one that actually gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go and work out.
These hands were
It's not
meant
really
for
fair.
chalices, not for calluses.
Anyway, so yeah, but I don't know. I think when it comes to roasting or sarcasm in general, you really have to be secure in your friendship to.
You have to know where the other person. You have to be on the same wavelength. Like kind of like I know that you're feeling okay. You know that I'm feeling. We're doing okay, and then something happens. I think for us with the roast, like in the beginning of our marriage, it was. To me, I felt like we were just sarcastic with each other because maybe that was the humor that we were into, at the time, or a TV show that we were watching or whatever, and whatever that we found funny, and so like we were trying to do that humor because that's what we shared, a laugh with. Well, but I think that that's different than where we're at right now. Like when you say it's kind of like it's not sarcasm, just joking around. It's like our roasting 13 years later is kind of like I'm helping you not take yourself so seriously kind of thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and it helps. I think with age tends to come a little bit more confidence and you're not as nervous about what people think. For example, I was just at an event this weekend and I was backstage and I was coming through the curtain and I didn't see that there was a guitar case on the floor in front of me. I tripped over it, landed on one foot, hopped a few times forward, right in front of 2 crew members that were sitting like 10 feet away from me, saw the whole thing. And I just went on one foot, ta-da! And, that could have been a really embarrassing situation.
Oh no, it was. Like, I'm glad I
really
wasn't
saved
there.
It, actually.
No, I'm glad I wasn't. Yeah, you saved it. I'm glad I wasn't there because
rather than take ourselves too seriously. But it's interesting though, because I feel like our kids are just getting to the age of like really just being aware of what people think, even if I don't know how much they care about it right now. They're just starting to hit, really adolescence and teenage years, but they're just aware. And I feel like they're a little more sensitive. And so we have to be careful how we tease them. I would never want them to have a complex about something. I don't want to tease them when they're really sensitive and they're trying to figure out who they are.
And they see us roast each other. Like, they witness that. We don't try to hide it or whatever. And, I can see how do we have an example of a pause right there? Do we have an example of a roast like that we've roasted each other besides what we've done so far in the show? Like, what have we done? What is a memorable?
What is a memorable roast? The one thing that pops into my head is when we were speaking at that married couple conference, and you just looked at me right before we were about to go on, and you were like, "Oh, hon, you look very disheveled."
Everyone was like, he's going to say something so romantic. Yeah.
Or like when you had said the joke about, I like my women like I like my peanut butter chunky, when we first met.
Right.
I said one time, well, I would say that I like my men like I like my chocolate, dark and rich, but I married a youth minister.
Oof.
Yeah,
Oof.
that would be boom, roasted.
Who did you say that to?
A whole auditorium of people.
Ouch. Was I there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you were. I think you were in the band though, so you couldn't defend yourself. You didn't have a microphone at the time. Handy.
Yeah, I think
handy.
I forgot about it. That
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good roast.
Right. If it's done artistically, We appreciate it.
And we were in a place to hear each other's roasts.
Right.
Other times, like this morning, like if we roasted each other this morning in the midst of a fight, it would have made things worse. Now,
In the midst of a fight, it's not really a roast. It's more like a
hateful,
passive aggressive insult.
torrent of, yeah. So, which have we done that before? Or somebody said, they heard us fight once when we were, was that dating or when we were first married? Yeah, it was when we were first married, because we got married several times because I messed up your name during the wedding.
We did not.
Our marriage isn't even valid. No, but I did mess up her name during the vows.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking so deeply in her eyes that
you said you were confused why I was wearing so much god-awful makeup. That's what you said.
That was later, after many years of marriage, where I felt comfortable to share my feelings that day. I've never seen you with that amount of makeup on. Like,
it's for the photos.
You look like a clown.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, this is right. I've never seen that. It's like one of the biggest things for men going through relationships is when you see the woman that you love, like, first without makeup, and then with too much makeup. Like, those are the things that take adjusting. Like baldness, that comes on gradually. But boom, like she shows up with
gradually
no
when you're like 20,
makeup.
though.
Well, that was. I have lots of testosterone going through my coursing through my
actually,
arms.
Sinbad has a joke about that. I remember he was talking about how women are liars with all our Spanx and all our
Spanx?
Spanx.
What is...
The Spanx are the things that, like, they're like biker shorts, but they suck in all your fat and it makes you look skinnier.
And they call them Spanx.
Spanx with an X.
That's even worse than I thought, folks. Okay.
But he's like, yeah, this woman's a liar. And he's like, put that back on, and whatever. But I mean, I appreciate a good Spanx in my closet. So, okay.
See, nobody was thinking that. Nobody.
No.
This is the second time you've done
that.
that.
Of the sentence. I was trapped in it. But
you are ultra, like, you read that line from what is it, Sirach or Psalms? That's like, oh, Lord, set a guard at the gate of my mouth, so that the tongue does not, like, destroy me. And you're
I know. I'm like,
wake up, guard, wake up.
I'm like, no, I'm really a good person.
Hun, I don't even think our listeners.
Think
it's
that
just the
we're good
blind
people.
leading the blind. Yeah, we're all just
Oh my goodness.
bad people. No.
Yeah.
Basically, good people who make mistakes. Yeah. So getting back to it, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, you were wearing way too much makeup during our wedding. I was looking into your eyes, trying to look past the makeup, which was so thick that it took like more intense staring. And then at that point, I forgot that I'm supposed to say something. I'm supposed to say.
You were just supposed to repeat after the priest.
I was supposed to, which is an easy job.
He gave you the words to say.
Yes, but still, give it to me and I'll screw it up. Okay, so which I did, and I said your middle name instead of your first name. I said I take you Elena Noel, and then I had this moment of terror, and I could see right in your eye, like you had this twinkle. But it wasn't. You didn't have to say anything. It was just this look in your eye. Oh, you just screwed up
in front of the
entire congregation. The most important day of our lives. So we started laughing. The priest started laughing. Then everyone started laughing, and our entire marriage is just one big joke.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we appreciate roasting.
Yes, it was. Those were the seeds that were planted, and now today we have a big roast tree. So some people take roasting seriously, like as in they enjoy a good roast, and then I think there's other people that are alive in the world today that don't understand it, and they are horrified by it. Like when we have roasted each other in front of a married, a group of married couples, it's been great, especially the older that they are. Older married couples, they appreciate a good roast, but it's like just the younger ones, either maybe they're dating or they're just young people, like they are not dating or whatever, they're just young, high schoolers, whatever. We've given a talk on marriage before for high schoolers and roasted each other in front of them. And they were horrified. Like they legitimately thought we were fighting.
Right. Or that we're making fun of each other and being mean to each other. But think about what are the relationships that they see in their own lives? Are they, is banter in their household? Is it, passive aggressive and sarcastic? I mean, we do that too though. But I'm just saying I think that it's something because of this romanticized idea of like, well, this is my soulmate and this is my, my person that we're always going to have, romance and happily ever afters and all this kind of stuff. It's just maybe not the picture that they have in their head of, oh, they aren't really being, I don't know, romantic. They're being silly or joking with each other,
well, I don't know. Like, and especially like if I pick up on that they don't understand.
Yeah,
and,
you keep going.
I keep going
Harder
even
and
worse.
Yes.
because it's like that. Yeah. I mean,
David's
side note, folks, is like whatever I find funny, that's what I'm going with. It doesn't humor to me. This is my advice on humor. If you find it funny, I'll tell my children, son, if you find it funny, that's all that matters. I think that goes against like the common thread of what humor is. Like people are like, it's as long as everyone's laughing, then it's no. As long as you find it funny. So if I picked up on that they were feeling like this is awkward, oh my gosh, then that's even more fuel on the fire there. Just dumped on the gasoline. Like, let's make it more awkward.
David's idea of humor is to make people as uncomfortable as possible and then laugh. But I love that, I think being able to tease each other and roast and even to bounce back after an argument really comes from just a strong security in your love for the person and the person's love for you. So I feel very secure in your love for me and, my love for you, that I don't feel like, oh man, if you tease me, that it's something that I need to take personally. At the same time, though, if we're coming off of, I don't know, just experiencing rejection or somebody saying something to us that was hurtful, then that's not a good time to tease or to feed into that, because there's like this little door that opens of vulnerability that you become very fragile in even your loved one's hands. And it's very easy for different lies about ourselves to penetrate and to take root.
Yeah, and that's happened before. Like we've been sarcastic with each other, especially in the beginning of our marriage. I remember times where we thought we were being funny or playful or whatever, and it's it's not that, or it causes hurt feelings or whatever. But if there was a purpose for roasting in marriage, what I'll say for me, because I'm usually the one being roasted, is it helps you as a married person, that spouse that is being roasted at the time, to not take yourself so seriously. Like if there was a purpose, like, okay, come on, like, maybe it's not going to be everybody's thing. There's going to be some couples that it's just not their personality, Maybe they're not into the puns. They're not, it takes a certain amount of wittiness or whatever. Maybe that's why I can't pick up on all the roasts that I could give you. I'm just not looking for things to roast you about. No, it's not going to be everybody's thing, but whatever it is, you have to help your spouse not take themselves so seriously. Like that is that's character. Mm-hmm. If somebody does not take themselves seriously, that's a character trait. Like that's admirable.
Mm-hmm. Well, and humor can be really healing to a situation. So somebody asked me, when we spoke earlier about kind of our lives being a complete chaotic mess right now in very many areres. Speaking of which, the foundation guy is coming tomorrow.
Wait, is it? I just had this moment like,
what is it?
Because usually you point out when I say a word wrong. Is it admirable or is it admirable? How come you didn't point that out and roast me that I said?
Did you say that?
Yeah, I said admirable.
Oh, I don't know.
You had an
worthy
opportunity.
of being admired.
You had an opportunity to roast me right there.
I know, I should have done it.
You're
Man,
slipping,
I missed
hon.
it. I know. I was trying to be nice
You're slipping.
on air.
No,
I'm just kidding.
only in front of others,
But
folks.
no, so I was talking to somebody and he said to me, it seems like you use humor to cope with hard things. And I was like, yeah, that is very true. I remember after my mom's car accident where she was in the ICU, I mean, some of my best laughs were during that time because there was nothing that we could control. We'd cried all of our tears. We had prayed all of our prayers, and to where sometimes just the tension and the stress of everything, something crazy would happen. Like, I don't know, just, somebody would say something or react a certain way that just made everybody laugh. And it was like, thank you, God, for the gift of laughter, because it is healing in a lot of situations. So I think that I don't know, I sound totally heartless, but I'm telling you, there were just moments.
My mom got in a car accident. Oh my gosh, the funniest thing happened.
But it was
wow.
but it was this, but I do use humor to cope with things. I like to make I don't know, if things are getting very serious, I like to just crack a joke, because it does pull you out of the darkness that sucks in so quickly and so fast. And Father Robert Spitzer says there's a thing called an eros of darkness, and that's like where we get pleasure out of darkness in a way, like rethinking and rehashing situations over and over and over. Like, oh, I would have said this and I would have done that. And he says you can interrupt that by offering a prayer of thanksgiving for something. So instead of like, I'm going down this path and everything is terrible and awful and da-da-da-da, you say, you know what? Thanks, God, that the sun shined today. Like something lighthearted, something that turns you upward. And I think humor for me is coping in a lot of ways. It's healing in a lot of ways. And in our marriage, I like that we laugh a lot together. I like that we can tease each other and laugh about it. And I like that even when we're fighting, one of us can crack a joke that kind of eases the tension a little bit. So. You're like still reeling, like she was laughing while her mom was in there. I will never forget though when when my mom
my ADHD brain like basically like just latched on to one thing that you said, and then all I was doing was just like going deeper into that thought process, and just the ability that I have to tune out the kids kicked in. And so I didn't hear enough of the end there to comment on. But I just want you to know that I was listening to one part of what you were saying. Yeah. No,
Earl, remember when you called me? I'm at the ICU in the waiting room, and you called me and you were furious because the kids had destroyed the Legos. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the ICU with my mom right now. Like, I don't care about the Legos. And it was
hard.
Like a thing.
That was an expensive Lego set, and we spent hours.
Yeah, I know. The Legos are a big thing. But
so you make jokes about, or find jokes to be made during this time of your mom's accident, and I am irate about and really deeply affected by the destroyed Lego set. So things, things happen. Things happen in the midst of tough times.
Yeah. Well, I also really appreciate your ability to self-roast. Like the time that we were going through McDonald's drive-through, and we were in your little car. We weren't even in the big, huge van. And you cut the corner, or like you took the turn really wide, and you didn't just have to open the door. You had to physically get out and walk to the window to pay. And you made some joke. I don't remember what you said. And you were like, I just thought I'd get some fresh air. And then you were joking with the car behind us, and they were laughing at you. But it was like, it wasn't just like they're making fun of you. It's like everybody's brought into this joke. And that's a thing that I really appreciate.
Look at me. I'm an idiot. Welcome to my life.
I know. Yes.
And there is a kid crawling around on the floor right now.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing a podcast. You got to get out of here. Yes.
Well, I think that might be a good place to end it. Like whenever a kid comes into the room, that's a good time. Yeah. That's our warning.
That's our closing
1 minute warning.
closing minute. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we have any announcements?
No big announcements. We'll release next week, same time, same place. And don't forget to visit our sponsor, Small Things Great Love. We'll put all that information in the show notes. So go enjoy your roast turkey.
Yes. Oh, that
And-
roast was very worthy of admirability.
Yep, that's right. Okay. We'll see you. God bless.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You can say that again. Should we call it a night?
Yep, let's call it a night.
Okay.